kind of be ruled out the rest of the playoffs for y'all?
It's very tough for him. You know, he really fought hard to come back and help us, and he did in our last series. I thought he was certainly an impact player for us on both ends of the floor. The defensive end of the floor as well as the offensive end of the floor. And then all of a sudden you go out again with an injury. It's very frustrating for him, but it's something that needs to be done. He needs to take care of that as soon as possible, and we have to make that adjustment once again. You know, he's a big part of what we have been doing really all season long, but certainly in this playoff. So, you know, it's a big loss for us.
On another kind of injury note, do you have any update on Cam? I think he might have been able to play. I think the team a few days ago said he might be nearing being able to play 5-on-5.
He played some 3-on-3, 4-on-4 yesterday. Hasn't really played 5-on-5. So he is out on the floor working, but we have to continue with trying to get him some playing time out on the floor in some scrimmages.
Chris Kirshner.
Hey, Nate. As a former point guard yourself, what are the challenges when an opposing defense tries to throw someone who's just much bigger and stronger on you? And in what ways can you combat that size as a point guard?
Well, I think what you have to do is just play your game. These are things that Trey, good players like Trey will have to adapt to really throughout a season and certainly throughout a playoff, in the sense that, you see different coverages, and the coverage in our last game was they put Ben on him, a much bigger player. So it's just, okay, you see the matchup that they're giving you, and you have to continue to play your game, continue to be in that attack mode, and not allow their changes to keep you from being aggressive. This is something that Trey, and as I mentioned, really good players are going to see throughout their careers. Certainly Trey, he'll see a boxing one. He'll see players, much bigger players. He's going to see guys that are more physical. He will see guys that will try to pressure him and deny him his catch. So all of those things are adjustments that your really good players, they see that during the course of their career, and they make adjustments to attack it, but it can't take them out of what they normally do.
Mike Sealski.
When you went back and watched the film from, you're good. When you went back and watched the film from game 2, what did you see out of Trey and how he adjusted to those bigger bodies thrown on him?
I thought as a team, we just did not come with that sense of urgency. Philadelphia really didn't do anything different in the sense they changed their matchup and put Ben on Trey. We saw Ben on Trey in a few, for a few minutes in the first game. So it wasn't like they really did anything. I thought it was really us just not playing with that sense of urgency. Defensively, we never established ourselves. They had 24 points in the paint in the first quarter. So we were taking the ball out the net. And I think I felt that we were walking the ball down the floor and playing a possession game. So we just really never established ourselves on either end of the floor. Defensively, we certainly didn't do that. And offensively, I thought we just played too slow in that last game.
Now we'll go to Mike Sealski from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hi, Nate. I had kind of a bigger picture question about Bogdan. When you guys acquired him, what kind of player did you think you were getting? And now that you've had him for a while, what kind of player is he? How does that compare to the guy you thought you were getting to the guy he has been?
Well, I wasn't in on the conversation at the beginning when we were recruiting him. But we, from afar, even when I was in Indiana, I really was intrigued by his game, his ability to shoot the ball, his playmaking ability. and, just his IQ out on the floor. So when I saw that we had him, we knew that we were getting a player that was, lights out shooter, offensively will, be able to spread the floor. I think what I'm probably more surprised or impressed with is his ability to play in the pick and roll and make decisions with the basketball. We're really happy with what he has done for us. But I think, when he first was recruited, part of that was to bring in veterans that could play. So he was a part of the veterans that they were trying to sign, Bogey and Rondo and Gallinari, to help this young team, put some experience on the bench and try to help them get to the next level.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah.
Andrew Lopez from ESPN.
Hey, Nate. Just kind of going back even to your playing days and your early days as a coach, how have you kind of seen the hack a player strategy in the fourth quarter kind of develop over the years? And are you kind of maybe surprised that maybe more teams don't use that?
I think it's, it just depends on the team. And I think it depends on the situation, where that player, so a lot of things factor into that. It started years ago. And, I think when we really started to pay attention to it was, back when Shaquille, was shooting a low percentage at the free throw line. And, you're just trying to find ways to, get a possession and, really take the ball out of a certain player hand or, so a lot of things factor into you using that type of strategy. Really it's the first time that I've used it, in my career where we've made the decision, certain time in the game to use that strategy.
Next to Mark Narducci.
Nate, you said, especially in the first quarter, you guys didn't play with the sense of urgency. This is the playoffs. Do you think maybe in the back of your mind, because you already won one, maybe a little complacent, or why in your mind wasn't that urgency there?
I don't know. I can't say that. I won't say that it was complacency. I think, I just don't know. I just, maybe we were waiting to see how they were going to come out. I really can't put my hand on that because that's not us, so it definitely wasn't complacency that we were, thinking that we had this or anything like that. It's just, I thought we came out and, they came out and hit us as we hit them in the first game. And, they got easy baskets, easy points. As I mentioned, 24 points in the first quarter, in the paint is really unheard of. So I wouldn't put it on, us being complacency or anything like that. It was, I guess just one of those games. We know that we have to come out with that sense of urgency. We've been doing a good job of doing that, establishing tempo early in these playoffs. And I thought they really controlled that with their aggressiveness.
Okay, thanks.
Jerome Weitzman from Fox.
Hey, Nate. I know you said they didn't do much differently on defense today. It also looked like Joel was kind of coming up a little higher and more aggressive. Pick and roll. Yep. Is that not right? And if it is right, how do you think?
He does. There are times when he does come up higher in their pick and roll defense. They make adjustments, far as where he is at defensively. They did make some adjustments. But we saw some of the adjustments that they made. But far as the aggressiveness, it was basically the change was starting Ben on Trey. And, he is up higher at times. And then there's some times where he's playing lower, so I think it was really more us. We need to be more aggressive in our attack. We need to do a better job of setting screens. I didn't think that we set good screens in that game, and and it starts for us defensively. We have to get pressure and disrupt on the ball, and I didn't think that we did that.
One quick follow-up. I know he talked about after the game, kind of mentioned, I don't know if he's like the cat and mouse game, basically playing on pick and roll with Trey. I'm curious from your perspective, like what do you see, seeing how different teams approach guarding the Trey pick and roll with Clint a lot, what you saw from Joel in terms of how he approaches that and how he may be difficult? I don't know.
Well, again, they did make some adjustments defensively, and I won't talk about those adjustments, but what Trey saw in that game is not anything he hasn't seen this season. So he's seeing bigger players. He's seeing more physical players. He's seeing traps. He's seen all of that. It's just like us throwing different defenses at Embiid. He's seen it. He's played against it. So it's up to the player to make that adjustment. And we saw some adjustments that they did make. And we want to make sure our guys understand those adjustments and make the proper reads when they get in those situations again.
Thank you.
Davide.
Hey, Coach. You have 2 days now to digest what happened in Game 2. I'm curious about what was your message to your team after that and looking forward to Game 3. What do you expect from them?
Again, I won't talk about what, the team and I talked about, but basically we watched the first quarter of the game. I think that first quarter tells a lot far as how we got to the end result of that game. So I wanted our guys to see what we looked like at the start of that game, and I think that's a big part. Not that you necessarily win or lose a game in that first quarter, but I just felt that we needed to see our execution on both ends of the floor in that first quarter. We didn't do a good job of keeping the ball in front. We didn't do a good job of executing our offense, and we didn't do a good job of taking care of the ball. So, but I won't talk about adjustments or changes that we are looking to make.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Christos.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. In Game 3, obviously you need to be the aggressors from the first minute of the game. What do you need to do on that aspect?
What do we need to do?
Yes.
That's what we need to do. You need that every game, so I thought we got it in Game 1. I didn't feel that we had that in Game 2, and you certainly are going to need it in Game 3 and every game remaining, so come out with play with a sense of urgency. And I just thought that we didn't show that, and we must come out with that sense of urgency.
Sarah.
Hey, Nate. You guys have obviously been really good at home for a while now. Just now that the guys kind of get to come back home to familiar territory, just kind of how do you want to see them respond in Game 3?
Again, it's the same thing. We're at home. Doesn't guarantee anything, but we've played with the energy. We've played with that sense of urgency. We've tried to make this building a tough place to play. Of course, we got to do it again.
Thanks.
A couple more from Alex Glaze.
Hey, Nate. So you weren't sure going into this. I know you were preparing for Joel to be playing. Obviously, now 2 games in, you've seen 39 points in Game 1, 40 points in Game 2. You got Game 1, but can the Hawks can you guys have success and win 3 more games if Joel continues to have that kind of success on the floor?
Again, I won't talk about adjustments and changes. 39 and 40 points, as you mentioned, we win 1, we lose 1. So we will make adjustments to what we're doing out on the floor, but I won't be able to talk about that here.
Looks like the final question will come from Charles Odom with the AP.
Hey, just a follow-up on DeAndre. Is there any concern about him long-term, and were you told anything about the expectation for his availability at to be ready to go at the start of next season?
I have not talked to the doctors or our trainers or our staff about that. All I know right now is that he's going to have this procedure. They're going to try to get that done as soon as possible. And, that's pretty much all the information I have.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.